Hey there, Coach Abaxial here with Game Gym Online. This is part 2 of our series on neutral pulling and team fights. So, earlier we were talking about dragons, how far we can pull them out. What about Rift Herald? Well, as we'll see, it'll follow us much further actually. Dragons can only stay about to the lip of the pit right there, a little bit further. But the Rift Herald will actually follow us all the way up to the corner of over here. And it'll stay there, be stable. You can tank it there as long as it takes. If we move down, it doesn't quite go as far, but it'll still follow us a decent distance. We can get all the way down to the pixel bush here. So play with your limits here. Try and see just how far you can tank them out. We'll finish with a bit of an abstract demonstration. Range target dummies so that you have a bunch of opponents on top of each other. And then we'll spread out our team a little bit, like so. So from this kind of position, I'm a Philios, I can hit all 4 of these people with my ultimate. And even if they start moving when I cast it, well, at least a few of them will still probably get hit. So, in team fights, it's generally not that good to be stacked exactly on top of your teammates. Instead, we want to space out a little bit. For example, I'm gonna hit C here to look at my auto attack range. Usually somewhere between about, 2/3 to all the way of your auto attack range is about how far you should be spaced from your opponents. Like this, if your opponents throw CC at your team, they can really only hit one person, and therefore the other person is going to be ready to respond, ready to defend. So like this, if I'm spaced away from my teammate, even if someone else jumps them, I'm immediately ready to auto attack. I don't have to run back into range to auto attack, but I don't also get hit by CC at the same time. This might seem obvious when we're just hitting target dummies, but in a real game, it's much harder to do this. What we're trying to introduce here is that you don't just position relative to your opponents, you also position relative to your teammates. Since both your allies and your opponents are constantly moving, it stands to reason that this skill takes a long time to develop. In your next game, come to a dragon fight, preferably all of them, if possible. If you're the jungler, make sure to pull the dragon out of the pit. If you're a laner, ping the ground outside of the pit to signal to pull out. If the jungler doesn't understand, it's okay, try again on the next one, or you can just pull it yourself anyways. And in general, for this game, start developing this skill where you watch not just your opponents in team fights, but your allies as well. That's all for now. Today can be the day that you learn and master neutral pulling and team fights. Coach Abaxial out.